time. Conclusion. So let's say you get to a place and you've got Milo. This adorable, it's a dragon. Milo, you're a dragon, aren't you? You're a polar bear. You shoot fire. Shoot fire everywhere. You shoot fire everywhere. You do. You shoot fire everywhere. I'm serious. And you say, hi Milo. You get some water for Milo in a minute, and you've had these kinds of, experiences on buses, and you've had these requirements of fitting in the screen and not making the dragon shoot fire at the screen, because the dragon's like, I don't want to see the screen anymore. I'm serious. I always make these movies with Milo. And Milo, it's like the glasses being dirty. Milo loves being, Milo. Milo's, a rugged, tough dog. You got a bandana. You got a bandana. I'm serious. You got a bandana. And Milo's an example of time, and an only ethical example to have in front of the camera, because Milo doesn't speak English. Milo speaks, and you can get Milo's ears going and stuff, but not like me and a viewer of this video. Milo can't go to YouTube, see what a person like me, who lets Milo out and gives him some water before I pick up the kids, has made. Like maybe Milo's just saying, I just want a day off. It is so rainy and so cold, and it's just a good day to just take a day to yourself on the couch, and it's fine. It's good. It's healthy. Gives the brain, the mind, and the body a nice calm. In the consciousness, to have, freedom to look, to, see, whereas the bus has the graffiti and the windows are, distorted and scary, especially, for not only me, but gosh, take Milo on there. Milo be like, why are those dogs blocking the aisleway? And it's like, are they going to attack Milo when he goes and walks by? And those people with those dogs, with the service animals, they're also keeping track of me in the building I live. Not those exact people, but the people in the building with the service animals, the people in the building who do drugs, the man and the two women, and the networking. And time has this beauty, aside from entropy, and some of the bummer parts, like why I'm using Milo as an example in this movie to get this, not in this movie, in this, it's a movie because Milo's there. He's a movie star. He's a movie star. Dragon, polar bear, movie star. In this video series on time, because Milo's getting older. He's, I think, almost 13 or 14 now, and thankfully doesn't know numbers and doesn't know language as well as, other, I don't know if a monkey would understand language, not to be rude, but maybe an elephant, I don't know. You can train them to, do certain commands, but as far as time, the animal understands time as getting older and, having a body where it's just kind of like, and not as, agile. And time doesn't stop. Time keeps going forward. And what's occurring here in Seattle, Washington, and I'm sure in other places, this is where I live. I can't travel. I can't do vacations. I can't do, research elsewhere because I don't have the ability. I'm at the mercy of trying to get into a school and then maybe in the future being professionally recognized, having a business, hopefully, and, you know, taking my Blue Circle Technology jacket out into Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, India. But what makes time kind of slow down or stop or give this kind of notion of time travel has to do with the graffiti on the windows, you know, and the restriction from the woman blocking the graffiti who says, you know, all lives matter. Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, most other candidates gone. And now there's, you know, Donald Trump, Mr. President. Unless Milo's gonna run. Milo, are you gonna run for president of the United States of America? I don't think Milo would even care. I think Milo would just be like, I just want to be a dragon. He just wants to be a dragon, but he leaves his pillow. You leave your pillow everywhere. You need to put your pillow back, sir. I'm serious. It smells like you killed a fish in here. I'm serious. But with the last 8.5 minutes or so remaining on this conclusion that I'm allotted by YouTube and, you know, Google, I've got to start making better sense. I apologize. I'm just next to an adorable dog named Milo. The pauses, the stops, the breathing, you know, of the brain and the mind going down towards the body where the body can just breathe. And then back up to the brain and the mind, maybe quickly to explain, you know, if someone's like, well, I think that's as disrupting as the current psychology, ego, you know, therapy, you know, disorder, medicine, self. And to go back up again and try to make sense of how the description of going from the brain, leaving the mind just aside, down to the body where you can just have a sense of being, breathing, sitting, doing a yoga pose, you know, or meditating for, you know, a good 10 seconds. And then 10 seconds later, you can't even catch up to the time because now it's 30 seconds. But you were trying to go at 24 seconds to get going with your engineering to finish the video and get undizzy from trying to explain stuff as fast as the pace right now has gotten from people saying, we are dying, we've got to figure this out now, we've got to make people understand, we've got to be activists, we've got to be political, marching, time-traveling, nearly visionary people like Greta Thunberg. And not mispronounce their name or not misremember their name during the thought to try to explain something like time when they just become a part of the video and they're a child. But their parents have said, well, no, they're fine. They can go in public like Shirley Temple. But then a person like me who's 36 years old has to decide, well, gosh, you know, my mind starts to go, huh? Forced with the decision, well, do I say the name? Do I say the politician like Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden and risk what's described as backlash, negative emotion, total dismissal for what I'm trying to accomplish, so that the children I pick up in the afternoon today now cannot even have a survival thought about 100 years later. The little girl I pick up, she wants to live, she said, till she's, I think, 95 or 90 something. And that would be the year about 2100. When the newest news story has said nearly half of the beaches could be gone. And a person has to be able to have a body, a brain, and mind ready to go down and allow the breathing to occur and allow the heart to have a natural, normal, and maybe even described as healthy rhythm. Without going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, or simply not just following the non-duality suggestions and going up. And doing an interval kind of timing where it just has the same pace coincidentally or maybe not coincidentally as a place like Facebook or a place like Google or a place like YouTube or a place like Twitter or a place like Instagram, with their systems and their processes that they're trying to make perfect. More money, more people that aren't yelling and screaming and, not visiting their services, and then more jobs, more economics, and more freedom, and more technology. Except with the exception and the deception involved with the freedom they're going to provide, they say. Along with these current politicians like Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, or whoever. I'm staying neutral. I want to be a government contractor with Blue Circle Technology. I don't hate the President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. I think there are benefits for what he is doing for all of us, not just what the people in charge say himself. He's focused on himself. And a lot like the mind, self doesn't get shared in anatomy and physiology, doesn't get shared in neuroanatomy, but gets described like it's the process in the systems of the brain and the amygdala and the hippocampus and the hypothalamus and the cerebellum and the brainstem and the pons and the prefrontal cortex, and should be paid attention to as much as my throat right now getting raspy and sore and needing some water and some liquid to help it calm down and relax and have less inflammation. Whereas a whole body with a brain and mind, a whole brain, a whole body, have psychological cognition already occurring, and decision making clearer, more precise, more at the speed of time, like now. 50 seconds, 51 seconds, and the end, because I only have 15 minutes. The end.